I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah. Jumpin', them boys up to something.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. This is Gallardo983 here. So this week has been pretty crazy. Today it's Sunday right now, and I'm making this video for tomorrow, Monday morning, when the markets open again. So looking at the markets, they've gone up, and this whole week has just been a huge correction or a market dip, whatever you want to call it. I believe the markets went up too fast and too high, so they're just coming back down. This is just a healthy pullback. I don't see any reason to panic, but I'm going to go over 4 ETFs that I'm looking forward to buying this week, if you haven't bought already last week, according to my chat room. So if you haven't already, go ahead and click subscribe and the bell button next to it to stay notified on my future videos, on my swing and investment calls, and also my future trading videos. Alright, so let's go ahead and hop on to Thinkorswim. So looking at the markets, S&P 500, this is just one of the big indexes. So looking at it over here on the yearly chart, it's about reaching the 50 EMA line, or sorry, 50 SMA line, and that's the average line, and this is the 200 line. So looking at that, it's almost reaching it. It might touch it, or it might bounce back up. Looks like the futures are slowly going back up into green. You just saw them about like 10 or 20 minutes ago. So looking at the SPY, let's zoom in a little on the 180 days. It did touch that 200 average line. If I click on this over here, that is a 200, that's 50, and that's a 200 SMA line. So zoom in on that, you can see that RSI, it's way oversold, and as you can see on my swings and investment videos that I made before, I usually played out on the RSI, MACD, and looking at the 50 and 200 EMA lines. I don't really pay attention to the buy alerts and the sell alerts that I set up over here. They're just a third indicator. My main two are these ones, and the third one is going to be graph, and the fourth one are going to be those are just for confirmations. Those are scripts that I made just for fun, and I'm just testing them out. But I just played off my charts, and I've been watching these stocks for months. So looking at that, it should be bouncing off of the 200 line. If it goes any below, I don't think it'll go below 270, but it should be bouncing off tomorrow. They're way oversold. Looking at the RSI, it's below 30. It even reached around 22, so they should bounce up. So my 4 picks are going to be, first one, SPXY. Let's go on the yearly chart over here. So it's just about touching the 200 line. It might even touch 100 and bounce back up. Worst case, it'll touch that and bounce back up. So if you haven't taken a position already, then I would just wait for it to start bouncing back up, get that confirmation, and get that consolidation over here at this price. And if you already are in the position like me, then I would just hold it through, because I see great investment on this long term. Or you can also swing this for short term if you want short term gains. But if you haven't had a position this already, that's a great time to get in this. And the next one is going to be UDOW. This is Dow Jones. So this tracks 30 big ones, and that's a really big pro shares ETF. This is one of my favorites. It's less volatile than the SPXY, but this one also moves up and down pretty quick, but it has really good growth and steady gains on this one. So this is just about touching the 50. Looking at the yearly and looking at the 180 days, it's about to touch the 200. So I usually look at the yearly and 180 just because I look at the markets like more recently. Going back more than a year, it's not really worth it unless you're like looking for like huge long term, like 10 to 20 years. I'm looking at long term as in a couple years, and maybe a little bit less or a little more. So this one's perfect. It's really good. It dropped on a high from 116.82 down over to 102, so that's about 14 points on that one. It's very good for long term. And the next one's going to be TQQQ. This is another ProShares. This is an Ultra Pro QQQ ETF. This one is more volatile than the UDAO. This one dropped from 182 to 162. You can see the RSI over here. It went from 84, 86 all the way down to 48. So almost half cut on that one. So you can look at the previous times where it fell to that range and it bounced right back up. Looking at these are from last year. So looking at this year so far, it bounced back up. It's been high. So this is just that dip correction, whatever you want to call it. So it's perfect to get back in on that. Looking at the yearly, or sorry, looking at the 180 day, it's just about touching the 200, same as the previous three. The next one I'm going to show you, it's a lot safer than the previous three I showed you. This one, I would not miss the dip on this one. I would get in as soon as possible, maybe when it reaches 81. And if it does reach below 80, it shouldn't go below the 200 EMA line. But when it starts going down and then coming back up and hitting that 81, I would definitely get in over there. You can see on the RSI and the MACD on this one, it's way oversold. Same with SPXY, I would definitely catch this one. And UDAO and TQQQ, I would wait just a little until they start going back up. But if you haven't taken a position in any of these already, I would wait a little on Monday morning to see once they start recovering, and I would take a position on that, and then later in the week I would add to the position. So this is going to be for long term and swing trading. I'm not really into day trading on this one, but this is definitely good for swing and long term. I would not miss this dip because this is a huge correction and dip. Since last year, I've been waiting for about 3-4 months on this one. Markets have just been going up and up. As you can see over here, they went up, they came down just a little bit, 5-6 points, and they shot back up. Same thing again over here. So they definitely reached the oversold region for a month or two, and now finally they're dipping. So if you haven't taken a position in these are great leverage ETFs to make you lots of cash on these ones. So I would not miss these. And looking at other stocks like Apple, and they're also oversold. So if you do invest in these, I would definitely take a position in Apple. It was supposed to be 175 after earnings. It did go up after hours, but the next day the markets just fell due to all the news that came out. So I would get in a position on this one too. So these are the 4 ETFs that I wanted to show you for tomorrow, and these are going to be for long term and swing trading. I've been calling these out in my chat room. If you haven't already joined it, I'll post the link in the description. Go ahead and join it, and I'd have my swing trading and long term alerts on this one. So I call these out by the minute. I call them out instantly, so if you can stay updated on these ones, because it's hard for me to make a video like right then and there. I'm not doing live streaming yet, so if I can call these out instantly, and you can get the notification on there on your mobile app or your computer, whatever platform you're using, and you can see my previous calls over here. So far it's been about more than 95% accurate, and the swing trading ones are pretty good too. I've call out a decent range, and I look for about 10 to 20% profit on these ones. The long-term ones, I would definitely hold these for a couple months, maybe years. And if you have like a 401k account or just an investment account, I would hold these for long-term, maybe until retirement even, or even further. So these ones are definitely for the big growth, and I look for steady growth on these ones. The swing trading, I catch them. If you look at over here, like I catch them down over here and sell over there. So those are just like a couple of days, and they last up to a week or two. So if you haven't already joined my trading room program, or sorry, trading room, it's just a chat room. You can also chat on here. Go ahead and join that from the description link. So if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and click subscribe and the bell button next to it to stay notified. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you don't miss these dips coming up, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks.